Ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker's trailer number 3 by Disney and Lucasfilm, a lot of fans either felt very underwhelmed or very excited about what they witnessed by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio as a way to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about the, of course, third trailer that a lot of fans felt very underwhelmed about is because it was not as revealing as it was for the second teaser trailer with Dark Rey and, of course, everything related to Palpatine's line of dialogue over the second Death Star fight between both Kylo and Rey and reveals like that. So, what's really intriguing is that a lot of fans are very excited about the fourth trailer, also known as the international trailer, for Episode 9, that's going to be a very important piece of Disney's marketing for Episode 9 before they begin rolling out all of the TV spots for this movie throughout the late month of November and, of course, into early December before its release on the 19th into the 20th. Now, with that being said, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various shot descriptions of the upcoming trailer 4 of Episode 9, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is described to be running on a battlefield with the Skywalker saber, where she is running toward a group of Sith troopers that begin to fire their blasters at her. It's explained that while this happens, Rey is able to use a new power called Force Stasis, which blocks all the blaster fire in mid-air, frozen in one spot where she is said to redirect the fire back at the Sith troopers. One of the Sith troopers actually is said to fall down to the ground, where all of them eventually fall down to the ground, where this is where Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren are said to make their way through the dust that is settling, where Rey is described to have a frightened look on her face. Now, Kylo is said to be leading all 6 of his Knights of Ren, where the scene progresses to a moment in which both Rey and Kylo Ren run toward each other, and of course, they sprint toward each other, while raising their sabers up before they clash them together into one. Now, while this happens, it's explained that a revised track of the Battle of the Heroes theme by John Williams from the prequel trilogy era plays over the shot, adding drama to the sequence for the fans. The next explains a segment in which it's explained and described that, of course, Kylo Ren is said to be kneeling down with his Knights of Ren by his side to a large throne with Palpatine sitting on it in the shadows. While the shot is said to zoom in on Palpatine, who is in the shadows, brand new dialogue begins to play over the shot by Ian McDiarmid. The dialogue is said to entail Sidious telling Kylo Ren to surpass his grandfather of legend by fulfilling his destiny, followed by the sound of Darth Vader's breathing, where it closes in on Palpatine's eyes, changing from yellow to red, followed by shots of the new Sith Empire emerging from the surface of the world of Exegol, where Star Destroyers are tearing through themselves through the actual hard ground, as a major lightning storm takes place in the background. The shot is said to be very wide and followed by a distant shot of over 500 destroyers erupting from the surface of Exegol, showing Palpatine's base/hideout on the side that is actually said to be in the shape of a large black cube that leads down below the surface of this unknown world. The next explains a sequence in which Ben Solo is said to be in a standoff with the Knights of Ren, while he is wielding a blue lightsaber blade inside of Palpatine's base. It's unclear if Kylo Ren is training in this segment against the Knights of Ren, or if Kylo Ren is getting ready to fight the Knights of Ren, as of course during the shot more Palpatine dialogue goes on to state for Kylo to complete his training to fulfill Vader's legacy. The scene is said to be very dark, where all the Knights of Ren are circled around Kylo Ren, where Kylo is said to be wielding a brand new saber design. As the shot progresses, a brand new theme for Ben Solo by John Williams is said to play over the shot that eventually cuts for Ben Solo, of course, that eventually transitions to glimpses of a major space battle between the First Order of the Empire and the Resistance, all fighting against each other, where each other faction is against each other, where, of course, there's another shot of Ben Solo seen flying in the Falcon for a shot or two. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and as to why this seems like it's going to be a very packed trailer that's going to really be in favor of multiple countries around the world. Now, the international trailer, just like with The Force Awakens, is going to be very important for the marketing of this movie by Disney and Lucasfilm, because not only is it going to reach out to everybody around the world, but it's going to be a trailer that will really sell the actual movie to the audience. It's going to be a major piece of the marketing of Episode 9 that's going to be essentially what will actually kickstart to the TV spots of episode 9, one after the other. Now, the one piece that I think is really intriguing about all of this, that really kind of mind boggles me personally as a fan, is the fact that Palpatine's eyes are said to transition from being the traditional yellow Sith eyes to red eyes. Now, this could very well have something to do with the power of the Beyond. In case you guys did not know, Palpatine will be utilizing a power that exceeds the dark side of the Force in Episode 9, that is heavily inspired from, of course, older drafts of Return of the Jedi that J.J. Abrams is trying to utilize in this movie. So the Beyond is said to be by far the most powerful Force nexus there is out of the entire galaxy, that exceeds both the light and the dark, that he will be using in order to create the Force conduit technique to literally drain the energy from both Rey and Kylo Ren. Now, what's exciting about this fourth trailer is that we will be getting revised tracks by John Williams of the Battle of the Heroes, as well as new themes for Ben Solo and Palpatine and such, that's going to give this trailer a different tone, a different feel, if you will, in comparison to the other teasers and trailers that we got in the past. Now, to me personally, I feel that Disney and Lucasfilm, they're really in a tough spot right now because as we speak, they are trying to piece together the ending of this movie, as well as George Lucas being on board, helping Disney and Lucasfilm out before the premiere of this film in just a couple of weeks from now. I believe it's going to be on the 16th, if I'm not mistaken, is when the actual premiere takes place in LA, if I'm not mistaken. So they don't have much longer to go. They got, 30 days basically until they can really roll this movie out and pretty much, be confident in itself and telling us, the fans, that this is what it is. Now, Palpatine is going to be a central piece to the story, and that's exactly what they aim to do with the marketing of this film, especially with this upcoming trailer, giving us actual glimpses of Palpatine and not hiding his face. And that's the one thing about The Rise of Skywalker, is that J.J. Abrams has said before in the past that he doesn't like giving a lot away when it comes to new trailers, when it comes to, trailers that aren't so close to the release. As you get closer and closer to the release date is when you will reveal more shots. Just like with the upcoming international trailer like this one, and of course the series of TV spots to come in, of course, late November into early December. Now, the last piece that I just want to actually tap into here that really kind of just excites me a lot for this movie is the fact that there is a tease in which Ben Solo / Kylo Ren is said to wield an ignited blue lightsaber facing the Knights of Ren, where all the Knights of Ren are said to be circled around him. Now, it's pretty ambiguous because we're not quite sure if this is him fighting the Knights of Ren or if this is Kylo Ren training against the Knights. Again, this all takes place inside or outside of Palpatine's throne room, so this could easily be Palpatine putting Kylo Ren through a test. However, the thing that gets me, and the reason as to why I believe that this is actually a fight against the Knights of Ren, is because he is actually said to be wielding a blue lightsaber blade, which could very well connect to the leaks that we went over a couple of months ago, that there will be Leia's lightsaber in The Rise of Skywalker that Kylo Ren will eventually use in the third act of this movie, and that's going to be the big step of Ben-demption, Kylo Ren's redemption arc being a thing in Episode 9 by JJ, Chris, and George. And that, to me, I think is a strong point about this movie. A lot of fans want to know exactly what the redemption story is going to be like and how it's going to compare to Darth Vader's and, of course, other characters a part of the Skywalker saga, and exactly where that's all really going to go in Episode 9. So the other piece that I just want to touch on here is the fact that, they really are in a desperate position right now in order to get the marketing done correctly, to really sell this movie to the fans, to really make this a box office success, in order to really, make it different in comparison to The Force Awakens and Last Jedi's marketing. That's exactly why we saw a lot of gaps in between, teasers 1 and 2, and the final trailer, and now the international trailer, followed by TV spots. Now, I don't know if we're going to get as many TV spots as we did with The Last Jedi, which was around 26 to 28 of them. My guess would be that JJ wants to do far less TV spots than that in order to not give away a lot of the twists and turns in Episode 9. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know anything about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.